We are stronger together. And so that's what our convention was about. We laid out over 4 days what we believe in and why we think we can produce results for you. We know that there's another candidate who's got a lot of attention and who, has a very novel way of running for president because he doesn't tell you.
Are you serious now?
But slowly it is becoming clear. It's becoming clear what the difference is.
Get him out of here. My plan will create millions more jobs than Trump's. I didn't even know about this until I got off the bus, and I don't know who's doing analysis. I don't have any way of knowing what Republicans or independents or Democrats or economists or anybody else are doing. But here's what they found. Under the plans I've laid out, our economy would create over 10 million jobs in our first term. And now this is not me saying it. It's not Tim saying it. It's an independent, a Republican, who advised John McCain saying it. And you know what he said about Trump's plans? What he said about Trump's plans is they would lose our economy 3.5 million jobs. Look, I understand that there are people who feel like the economy is not working well for them. Maybe that gentleman was one of them. I don't know. And I understand that because I'm not satisfied with the status quo. Are you? No! I think we can do better. I believe we had to recover from the recession that we inherited from the last Republican administration. I love it when Republicans criticize us as though they want everybody to have amnesia and forget that when Barack Obama became president, we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. 9 million Americans lost their jobs during the Great Recession. And I don't think President Obama gets the credit he deserves for taking us out. And so, since they can't really argue with the facts that it was Republicans in charge when that all happened, sometimes you'll hear them say, well, but the recovery is slow. Well, we would not have needed a recovery if they hadn't driven our economy into the ditch. So I know we can do better, but I'm glad that we're stable. We're on firm ground. Now we got to figure out what do we do next. And this election will be in large measure about what each of us says we can do to try to get the economy moving. And along comes this analysis from this Republican who worked for John McCain saying, whoa, just looking at the plans, the Clinton-Kaine administration will create at least 10 million jobs. do 3.5 million jobs. Now, why should that be a surprise? He has cost people jobs all over our country. And I find it pretty much the height of something or another. He talks about make America great again, but he doesn't make a single thing in America. So here's what we're going to do. And I also have to say, I feel like I have a very good idea about how a president can help create jobs, because over the 8 years my husband was president, we created 20. He was going to get to retire, he was wrong. It's all hands on deck. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to have the biggest job creation program that we've had in our country since World War II. We're going to be investing in infrastructure, advanced manufacturing, of infrastructure, because it will create millions of jobs, but equally importantly, it will lay the groundwork for millions more. Because it will be not only about our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our ports, our airports, our water systems. It will also be about a new electric grid that will be able to use the clean, renewable energy that we're going to have. Every home in America to high-speed broadband so that every American is connected to the global economy. Did you know that in a recent survey, 70% of teachers said that, yes, they assign homework that requires students to use the internet? Well, that makes sense, because most jobs require people to use the internet. But 5 million of our children don't have access to high speed.
That's right.
So even at their earliest ages, kids are being left out and left behind.
That's right.
So we are going to finish the job and make sure that everybody is connected. We are also, as we grow our economy, we're going to be making it fairer. That is why we are going to raise the national minimum wage. That is why we are going to do more to help small businesses, because too many small businesses are stalled. They can't get access to credit. There's too much red tape, too much bureaucracy. We know 2/3 of the new jobs are going to be created by small businesses. My dad was a small businessman. As Tim said, he was born and raised in Scranton, went to Penn State. So I know how important it is to support small business. And you know the fastest way to raise incomes in America? It's pretty simple. Pay women equal pay. Daughter, sister, you want them to be paid equally too. We're also going to double down on education and training. I want to start with early childhood education, because I want every kid to have a good chance. Support our teachers. And we're going to provide more options, as I said in my speech last night. It's great It's great to try to provide college, and that's why we're going to make tuition debt-free. We are going to help people pay back their debt. I can't believe Donald Trump gets to be forgiven from his debts. Students and families can't refinance college debt. That is a gross injustice. Has gone bankrupt 6 times. Well, we're going to be fair to the students and families of America. We're going to help you refinance your debt, and we're going to put a limit of the number of years you have to pay back your debts. And if you do it is not the only way to get a good job. We stopped at a wonderful business in Hatfield on our way here. We were talking to the people who run it. It's a family business. You know, they make things like Lincoln Logs and other great toys and pieces of plastic and other parts for things. And they were telling me that they have jobs, but they need people who have the skills. And then I look, there's 1 million jobs in America right now that aren't being filled. Jobs for machinists and welders and tool and die makers and coders and all kinds of jobs. We're going to make community college free. We're going to have more technical education. And we're going to give more people a chance to do well. Now, we're going to provide the opportunity because we know that those are the jobs of today and tomorrow. Donald Trump is offering the false promise that he can somehow turn the clock back to the jobs of yesterday. Those days are over. Well, that doesn't mean we can't do a better job in making it possible for everybody else to get prepared to take the jobs that will be here. And that is exactly what we're going to do. And we are also going to make sure we get the cost of health care down, deductibles, and we're going to finish the job to make sure everybody can have quality, affordable health care. We're going to get the cost of prescription drugs down. And we're going to do more to help people who are suffering from mental health and addiction. And I am excited that we are going to run a campaign for the next 100 days that will take this message to the country. Because I know that if we set forth our plans and you vote on them, that you will hold us accountable. And that's what I want. I'm telling you what we will do because I want you to say, okay, she came here with Tim Kaine with their job. They told us what they will do. And what did the other guy offer? Nothing. And what he has said about cutting taxes for millionaires and billionaires will cause 3.5 million jobs, according to the Republican economists. So people then can compare. Because I want, when you vote in November, to know that we are going to work toward the future that you deserve. And that when we take that oath of office next January, we are doing it because we know we can make life better. We know we can create more good jobs. But there's a role for everybody. We can't do this alone. We're not like Donald Trump saying, oh, I can fix it. No, that's not how America's ever worked. I don't think one person built that building. No, we are in this together. We have been for 240 years, since our founders met in Philadelphia, and had the audacious idea that they could break away from the greatest empire of that time, that they could form a new nation, that they could embody the values of freedom, equality, justice, and opportunity in that new nation. I believe with
heart that we can do that. We can build on that tradition, but we can go even further. As I look at this crowd and see people of all ages, people of all different backgrounds, that is what makes us unique. There is no to 47246 or go to HillaryClinton.com. And I want to also tell you, we are hiring organizers here in Pennsylvania. So if you go to HillaryClinton.com, if you're interested, you can find some information. Because we want to register 3 million more people. To commit that they will vote. Because at the end of the day, every rally, every speech, none of it matters if folks don't vote. You know, I'm thinking as we got on the bus, the first time I campaigned on a bus and came to Pennsylvania was way back in 1992.
92?
Looking at this crowd, there are a bunch of you who weren't even born. And we started driving through Pennsylvania. And as we stopped, talked to people, do events like this, it was exciting because we knew that if we worked together, we could get results for people. We could cut through all of the rhetoric and all of the insults and all of the attacks and do the job that needs to be done. Well, I feel exactly the same way. This is a moment of reckoning for our country. This is one of the most important election choices that you will ever make. I have so much confidence and optimism about our country. I don't recognize the country that Donald Trump describes. I don't recognize the mean-spiritedness, the bigotry and the blustering and the bullying. I don't recognize that. Because that is not who we are as Americans. And what I hope you will do is get involved in this campaign for the next 100 days. Do everything you can to talk to your friends and neighbors. And if somebody is not interested in voting, if somebody has given up on politics, if somebody says it won't make any difference, ask them to give us a chance. By the time Bill finished 8 years in the White House, we not only had 23 million new jobs, incomes went up for everyone. The median family income went up 17%. Now, I don't say this just because I'm proud of him. I say this as an American. We were on the right track, my friends.
Yes, we were!
We even had a balanced budget and a surplus in our federal and I went to the Senate in 2001 representing your neighbor, New York. And I watched as a different philosophy was applied. Cut taxes on the wealthy. Get out of the way of regulating Wall Street. We saw what happened, didn't we? We went broke and people went broke. People lost their homes, their jobs, their savings. So now we're coming back, but we need to build on what we have achieved, not allow the Republican nominee to take us in the opposite direction. So please, join us in this campaign.